Good evening. Welcome to my learning Haskell and live streaming it on the internet. I'm working on this program to help me take a list of the colleagues that I work with and then randomize the list and then go through that list one by one. And the idea is to have a program that lets me schedule one-to-ones with everybody in my team, but do so in a kind of random way. So I started working this last week, and I guess I got to the point where I could take a list of people from a file, and then it would shuffle it, and shuffle it by sort of zipping it up with a list of random numbers and then sorting it based on those numbers and then chucking the numbers away again. I got it working. What I want to look at today is to take it a bit further and turn it into like a useful application where I can run it and it will tell me the name of the person. It's the top of that list, and then run it again and it remembers that it's given me the first person, so it then gives me the second person on the list, and then run it again the third person, and so on. And if I get that working, then I can hopefully handle a case where we get to the end of the file. And then I just want to reshuffle the list to get a new random order and then start over again. So that's the plan for today. Just pick up from where we left off last week. So we wrote this where there, trying to focus. We wrote this function. I wrote this function where I'm reading the contents of a file. I think this is just a new line separated list of what's the developers from ENIAC. So it reads that in, does this stuff to get basically to seed the random number generator. The random number generator itself is pure, which means that it can't call out to sort of dev random or anywhere to get some random seed. So what I'm doing is I'm using the current second as a random seed. Now, random second isn't super unpredictable, but I don't really care about predictability. I just want some kind of a little bit of randomness in my list. So we get the seed and then we pass it into this function called shuffle. You can jump to that? Yeah. So this does the thing where, what's we got in this file? It does the thing where okay. My naming here is terrible. So names paired with random values, this thing that does the zipping. So our list of names here is the lines that we wrote out of this file. And what we do is we join it with a number, and this number here, this ours, is this, well, this effectively what we're doing is making an arbitrarily long list of random integers, and then we're taking as many as we need to pair it up with the list of names that we got before. I might try and fix some of the naming here. So we turn the list of names into the list of names paired with the random number, and then what do? We sort them, and we have this function second thing. Okay, so we're sorting them just by this element, so the random number that we paired with each name. If we take two of these things, each one's got random number at the end of it. And we return an ordering, and we return an ordering using compare, which is going to return less than or greater than whatever, just based on the integer values of these things that we pass in. I get the feeling that there is a better way of calling second on these two things. I don't know what it is though, so I'm not going to go into that tonight, I don't think. But anyway, this works. So what we do is we assign a random number to each name, then we sort it by pulling out the second element, and then we throw away the second element by calling first on everything in that list. Okay, so that works, and I think if I go back here and run it, it should just give me the list in some random order, and then I run it again, it should be some slightly different order, I think. Yeah, cool. So that's fine. What I now want to do is turn into a more useful program, like I said, where we start with the random list of people. We shuffle the list, I guess, first time, and then we write that out to a file with some kind of index as to how far through the list we've read. So I want to take this list that we generate, write it out to a file, but put, for example, the number 1 or 2, depending on how we index this, at the start, and it says, you know, we currently at, well, we've read the first name, so the next name to return is the second thing from the list. We set it to a file, and then next time we run it, it'll load that file, but it's not just a list of names now, it's a list of names with an index at the top. It'll take that index and then say, okay, let's increment it by 1, and then read that element off. That's the plan. Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little bit to start off with. I'm going to take my list of people, and I'm just going to add an index into here. Let's call this. Let's start with 1, I think. I just need to look something up. So, ooh, did that work? Have a new terminal, please. In Haskell, to get something of a list, I think I use an operator called just bang on its own. Nope. Import data.list. No, it's not bang. I thought it was. Let's look for a list of A's to give me an A. I don't want head or last, but these are both from data list, so we can have a look in there. Sublist extractions, we'll listen to that. I don't want building lists, I don't want searching, indexing lists. Oh, it's bang bang, that's what I got wrong. So we'll take a list and an offset, and the offset is from 0, which is the thing I was interested in. So there we go. So if we have a list of, say, 1 to 5, 5. And we call bang bang, and then let's say 1 should give me the number 2, whereas 0 should give me the number 1. Okay, so the reason I looked that up is I wanted to see whether I should set this initially to be 0 or 1, because I want this to point to the first thing in the list. One that's broken that key binding. I don't even know how to hide this now. Controlling that. No, sorry. I'm just going to go fix this because it's going to know me otherwise. Ah, I know what's wrong. I hadn't told my keyboard. That was on Windows. Okay. Right, so I've added that element in. So now what we want to do is we can read in this list of people and split it on lines, but it's not actually, it's not quite what we want. It's now going to include 0 as its first element, so if I just run that again, I'll get 0 randomly appearing in my list, and that's not what we want. We want to pull that out and treat it separately. So again, if I go here, I think what I can do is we say read file people. It gives me that, and then I think what we can do is we can call lines on that, split into different lines. Can't call lines on that because it's an IO string. We can call lines on the thing that comes back, and then we can just call head on that. Yeah. Oh wow. I could, oops, I could bracket it. So does that work? No. Okay. I'm trying to call head on something that's still an IO string. So I could call that, and it gives me back this value. int 0 is a string, and then I think I can just call read on that. Call read. Oh, this is going to be awkward. So on that whole thing, and I think I need to tell it it's an integer, because otherwise it doesn't know. No. Oh wow, okay. I tell this that it's an integer, I think. When it actually puts it back into main, I should be able to avoid some of this nonsense. Okay, I think I probably need more brackets. I don't know whether to keep going with this or just give up because I'm not actually going to use it. No, okay, that's not a thing. Right. I want to take these, read and head and lines, and apply it to read file. So we could start off by getting the contents out of there, and we can say let's names. Can we destructure this in a let? So can we say something like index and names? Oops. Equal lines x. I don't know if that works or not. And then here, instead of passing in lines x, we would say just names. Kind of curious whether that works. I guess I could run it and see. Compiles. Well, that's cool. I can destructure it. So I get a list coming back, but it no longer contains the 0. Okay. So in this case, we can shuffle our names. We're just unlining it to print it out again. So we just sort of new line separating the resulting list. But the first thing I could do, I guess, is say something like let's current, this is the current person I want to speak to. Actually, let's first of all we're going to say we'll just store our shuffle list in a thing called L for now. We can say put strlen next person. We'll try and actually print it out. Next person is, and then we will use our index applied to L. So it'll be something like L bang bang IDX. So what's this problem here? Let me just try printing that. Ooh. Yeah, I got this one wrong. So IDX, oh, okay, sorry, we haven't converted IDX back into the number. So that's the representation of IDX is a string, and then we can say something like IDX equal read AX as an integer. So that should help you a bit better. So now can we say print that? Oh, it needs to be an int, not an integer. that right? Variable not in scope, IDX as an int. This isn't going very well. So, oh, it's because I set ITX, that's why. Okay, if I run that, it's just give me one of the names. Which I guess is cool. So, Prince for Lynn. Very well not in scope. Okay, I now want to print out so the current person is, and then we will print out that. Okay, so now what we want to do, I'll just run that, make sure it works, but it should say the current person is, and then somebody, I don't know who's going to be this time, because it's shuffling it every time. I also want to save that content to a file. Is there a function called write file? Yes, I think. Let's bring up 5 seconds. What's the type of write file? It takes a file path and a string. Okay, so the file path is still called, oops, people, and the string is going to be unlined. So we're going to split our list people into new line separated thing. But what we're going to do is we actually want to append. No, we want to prepend the IDX, put a new index onto it. So it'll be something like IDX plus 1, plus 1. Actually, use that to prepend it onto a list. But we need to then call show on IDX plus 1, and that's what gets prepended. Right, this isn't very nice, is it? So that prepend needs to happen first, and then we get rid of these brackets. Okay, so we take our index, we increment it, we add it onto that list that we get back, so it's at the start. So we now have list of names which have been shuffled and the index at the beginning of that, and then we new line separate it and we write it back out to the file people. Let me just call this people2 in case I mess it up. I don't overwrite my original file. So I run that. So tell me who the current person is. Okay, current person is Fran. When I have a look at people2, it's got the number 1. Fran was the first in the list, and then Betty S should be the next one. Okay, so shuffling sounds, shuffling is something we only need to do occasionally. We don't need to do it every time we read the file. We just need to do it when we get to the end of the current list. So I can write a function, I think, called, we'll just call it shuffle names. And I guess that's going to take what's it going to take? It's going to take a list of names, and it's going to return a list of names. Very much like shuffle. Actually, all I'm really doing, that's not true. Okay, it's actually going to turn IO of list names. That's why I was doing it separately. So shuffle already goes from a list of names to a list of names, but it needs to take the seed because we want to get that by calling current time, and current time requires us to be under the IO monad. So shuffle names of our list is this stuff. I can write, there's a nice way of writing this, I think. We can join floor and railfrac and UTC daytime together. And we can apply it to T, which is get current time. Get rid of that line then. And then we're not going to say let seed, but we will say seed is that. See a couple warnings here. We haven't done anything yet with our IO. We can say pure. Oh, we need to get our list back. It can just be pure, so we say pure L. Redundant bracket is that. Okay, so we're going to call get current time, and then we're going to apply these functions to it, which should give us a second. Oh, I'm just going to check it works actually. I assume it works, but I could be wrong. So get current time comes from data.time. Is that right? Yeah. Data.time. So you can say get current time. So what's the type of that? The type of that is IO UTC time. And the type of UTC T daytime is, so it takes UTC time, which we get back under this IO monad, and gives us diff time. And I think that's what we then convert to a fractal, and then we floor it to get the second. So can I just grab this and paste it in? Can, cool. And that should give us, that's not the current, it might be the second of the day. Yeah, it looks about right. It's incrementing by about a second per second, which is what you expect from seconds. Okay, so that gives us our seed. And then now that we have that, we want to call shuffle seed L. And actually, we can just return that. Okay. So now we read in our list of people. We get our index and our so we get our index and our list of names. Now what I think we want to do is, instead of applying this to L, we're going to apply it to names. And here we're going to write the names back out again. We just grab some people 2. So people 2, last time we ran it, we were at Fran, and we run it again, we should get to say Betty. Let's just run it again. So see, Betty S, was it? Yeah, the current person is Betty S, but I could not write to the file because I just opened it. Okay, I need some kind of close. Is there a close? Be close file, wouldn't it? Not in scope. Okay, let's go here and I'm going to find out what read file is and have a look in that module. It's in Prelude, but it's also in somewhere else. Systemio, I guess. Opening files, closing files. Hclose, obviously. Oh, okay. Read file is not returning. I'm not like opening the file. I'm not getting a handle back. I'm calling read file. So I don't know why it's not being closed. I could try this non-lazy version of read file, just in case it's still holding it open. But I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'll try the non-lazy version of read file, see if that fixes it. It's a small thing, so reading its memory is fine anyway. It's not in scope, which is annoying. Okay, do we have a version issue? I think not. It's a standard library. It's Haskell 2010. It's maybe not exported by Prelude. These functions are also exported by the Prelude. Oh, okay. Oh, since base 4.15.0, I don't know when that is. Okay, we'll look and see what we're using, I guess. We are greater than 4.15.0, so it's not that. Could I make it strict? So is that enough to make it strict? It's not. The thing is though, we're calling read file and then we're immediately calling lines on this. And then we're using it here. So I don't see how it could not have read it. Oh, that's not a thing I expected. There was some text about file locking. Read file operation holds a semicolon handle until the entire file has been consumed. Okay, how do I fix it? I mean, I thought I had consumed it as well. Oh, is it 4.15? Oh, sorry, I read it's 4.1.5. Thanks, Rappel. Okay, so can I do 4.15? Let's see what happens here. It's probably going to get quite upset. Setup. Didn't complain. Let's see if it builds properly. No. does not match. Greater than or equal to 4.15 and less than 5. List matching version is 4.15.00. That's confusing. Base 414. Oh, okay, it's probably the latest one it has, or the one it's currently using. I could try, not in here, but in stack.yaml. I could try up in resolver. I noticed there's a new resolver out, so I think I can say that. And that's quite a change. Oh, there's no LTS 16. I did this earlier. It was stack. Actually, let's go out of the directory. I said something like stack REPL resolver LTS 18.0. That's what went wrong. So I'm hoping that 18.0 has got a newer version in it. Let's go back to here. Where was it? Auto. Stack setup. Hopefully it'll find a new resolver. It looks a bit happier now. And if we build it, I'm hoping it'll pull down newer versions, and the newer version will be new enough. It is not new enough. Because it allow new. Where do you put this? Allow new tree. Do you put it anywhere in particular? Yes. Allow newer true. I've been having a good run for a while. I've actually ran code. But I guess everything's got to come to an end. Okay. It seems to have built it that time. So now if we go back to main, can we now call that? Can we restart the language server? And we can, but will it pick up the changes? It's still upset. That's annoying. Is the language server correct? The language server is correct. It's not in scope. Did I mean read file? No. Oh, this is annoying. So what have I missed this time? Ooh. Since base 4.15.00. I could try just grabbing it from system.io, see if that helps. It probably doesn't if I can't get it out of Prelude either. And the thing over there is read file. And it does not export it. Okay. Also annoying. I could try running it myself, I guess, with OpenFile. Ooh, OpenFile. Now, what were the arguments to OpenFile? This file might be useful as well, but let's try with OpenFile first. So we're going to get a handle back. So we need to give it an IO mode, which would be read mode in this case, and a file path. So it should be OpenFile people2 and read mode. Okay, they're not in scope, but will it help me? Oh no, I've asked it for suggestions and it stopped responding. Okay, Systemio OpenFile. And if we can pull in read mode, that'd be helpful. That's not correct. I'll try and import it from the correct library this time. That one. Okay, so we've opened F. Oh, sorry. We opened F, but we haven't got the contents from it, so we can say we got get contents. We do. Have we got the non-lazy version? We do not. Okay. The type of get contents is a GHC IO handles file type handle, and this is IO handle. So if we try passing that directly into here, also not happy. Nope. It's confusing. So we expect IO handle types handle. Confused now. So I thought OpenFile would return an IO handle to me. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. Let's see what these things do. Stack REPL. So if it loads, yep. What's the type of OpenFile? That looks like the correct type to me. So we say X is OpenFile. First in this file pass, we can say people2 or people, doesn't really matter. And we want read mode. What's the type of X? It's IO/GHC IO handles file handle. And then we're passing this in to get contents. Oh, IO string. It's not the right method I'm using. Okay. I misunderstood the error there. I was reading it as requiring now handle and not getting it, but it's that it doesn't want the handle. It wants a string. Okay, so we don't want file size, we don't want buffering, I don't think. I just want to get the contents. HC tell hget line, hget contents. Oh, there's an hget contents prime as well, possibly, but I bet we don't have it. Okay, so down here we say it's a type of hget contents. Data dot, no, it was, sorry, system.io. Okay, goes my handle, which I think is what we have in X. Oh, it goes from the handle to an IO string. And we have an IO handle. So can we say hget contents? I would say hget contents X, that's what error. Because it couldn't do that. So let's just slide it underneath. Okay, I didn't really return anything. We could say something like C equals that, and then what's C? nothing. Type of C, IO string. Oh no, nightmare. Okay, we don't quite want to do this. I might switch back to here, it's a little bit simpler. So here we can say get contents. In fact, let me just undo for a second. It's back in the line above. Get contents. That's there. Okay. So we open a file. We get the contents out of there. And then, just curious actually, am I doing this wrong? Am I sort of missing something obvious? If we take X and pass it into get contents. Yeah, okay. So because the type of this is handle to IO string, and the type of X is IO handle, if we replace IO with M for a second, we get M handle. And we have something in handle, and we want to go to MIO. So what we really want to do is go from MA to MB. And if we look at the type of this, we're going MA, and then something goes from A to MB, which is our definition of handle to IO string. So M in this case is IO, A in the first case is handle, and then we have IO handle, and then we have handle to IO string. So A is handle, M is to IO, and B in this case is string, and then we get back IO string, which is what this is doing. Okay. I don't really know why that helps, but I guess what it does mean is we could say this. I'm just going to do it the way around. No. So that you can always read in the same direction. We're already putting it into X here. So the end of the line. Oops. Paste that in. Go to that line. Okay. So what we do is we open this file in read mode. We then pass that into get contents, and then we store it into X. Then we do our standard thing of getting the ID and the names out of there. What I might then do is we print that out. Can we then close the file? Was it H close? And the handle in this case, I've lost. Ha! That's annoying. Let H equal this thing. This probably isn't going to work because I think I'm going to have the same laziness problems I had before. Writing it out long form doesn't really help. But I'll run it and see. You never know. Nope, file is locked. So I think we have the same kind of issue. And it might be that we haven't really used all of names yet, so it hasn't forced it to read all the lines. It's only had to read until it gets up to index. Because laziness is great, but not what we want in this case. There's a way of forcing something to be strict, but I can't remember what it is. But I guess I could Google for that. So Haskell for strict. Explicit strictness. With the binding patterns extension, you can write it as this. Okay, I could try enabling bang patterns, and then see that lets me write exclamation mark on reading the file, I think. Let's try that. We have no extensions. What's the magic for enabling an extension? I forget. You can tell I'm not a Haskell programmer because enabling language extensions is quite a common thing to do. Everyone would know how to do that. So it's this. And it was bang patterns or something? Forget already. Okay. So I'm going to try just doing it here. Ooh, it does not like that. So it says here, when you enable bang patterns, it doesn't really help, actually. Well, it's not working. There's a variant of that, which is strict. It's not what I want, I don't think. No. For strictness. Where can we force it? Can we force it there? Why is it not letting me use this extension? It's really annoying. Can we force it there? See if that works. I mean, it didn't ever, but it also didn't work. Maybe I could open it and read write, and then I could seek to the beginning of the file. And then I could write to use hprint or something. So handles. Is there a seek operation? Towing, detecting, buffering, repositioning handles. It's set position 0. Is that right? Or it's seek. Let's see what can we set to. Absolute seek. Oh, and how do I open it read write? Well, that's another question. IO mode, and can I, what have we got with IO mode? What does IX give you? Index. Okay, that's not really what we want. IO mode looks like, oh, it's read-write mode. That's how you join them together. Put that in, please. Okay. So we open in read-write mode. We read the contents. We do our thing. And instead of closing it, what we can do is we can say hseek, I think it was. hseek, the handle, and then the seek mode. So wait for a handle. And we'll say hseek. Okay. Seek mode, integer, and then IO. So seek mode was something about absolute seek. And then 0. Once the handle. So what does this return? It returns empty. Oh, so we should be okay because I think the type of H here is IOH. But let's stop doing that. So we'll just say we don't need it to be under IO because the whole thing is in the do block. So we can say that, and then we can say H. Oh, I see what's happening. It's going to the wrong argument. I think. Okay. It would only have worked if it was the last argument in hseek. So then we want to write to this file, so it's like hprint or something. Text output hputstr or hprint. I'm going to try hprint. And handle here, and then we'll apply it to this stuff. Okay, what's going on? Well, first of all, that. Okay, and then move brackets to avoid that. We don't need that anyway. And then I guess we can try hclose on the handle. Okay, this is, I'll be surprised this works, but we'll try it and see. So it should print out Betty. Yep. But then, the legal operation handle is semi-closed. I don't know why it's semi-closed. Is H content semi-closing it? This is a lot more pain than I thought it would be. But I guess that's the fun of learning a new language. So text input, I'm calling hgetContents. Put it intermediate state, semi-closed state. Okay, that's not good. So how do we read it? Do we just call hgetLine until we get an end of file error? But that seems like a pain, like we're just implementing hgetContents, but we're not half closing it. Also, what's the point of the state? I mean, why not just leave it open or closed? Okay, I might try again to see if I can get this version of base, because I really want hgetContents. Package main, how are we doing for time? Oh, we're taking all of our time just trying to get something trivial working. I don't know if you can say that, but I'll try it. Oops. Back here and back to there. Does that even build? Oh, it said ignoring bound on the base using this. Oh, because I've said allow newer. So why does it think 4.14.1 is newer than 4.15? I didn't see that before. Oh, where did I allow newer? Oh, it's in StackYAML. Okay, so I now think this will fail for different reasons, but it'll tell me that it can't use 4.15 because I have 4.14. From stack configuration does not match this. How do I fix this? Oh, okay. Since base is part of GHC, you must need to use a different GHC versions with the matching base. So I told it that my resolver was this, but I didn't tell it to use a newer GHC because that is in somewhere. Is it in package? No. Where am I telling it what version of GHC to use? Maybe it's just pulling whatever happens from the LTS. Okay, this is going to be frustrating. Haskell close file. Or maybe we could say read file without laziness. Handlers that contents. It's not really helping me. It's closing. Yeah, that's a much nicer solution. Well done. Is there any more files in here? No. Okay, just tell me Haskell is great. What was the actual error I'm getting now? If I put this back to be 4.14, which I think is the latest one it's got. Just go back to main and run that again. Let me see what the solution for this is. Actually, I won't necessarily hseek because oh, maybe we will actually. No, I understand why hseek doesn't work because I'm using get contents. So it's at this point which it says it's semi-closed. So can we say h close and then h and then reopen it? So let's call it h prime. We can call OpenFile equal to write mode. We'll open this in read mode. We'll open it again in write mode. Then we will print to this one and then we'll close it. I'm just going to try and run that. So illegal operation, delayed read on close handle. So this is what I think the latency is all about. So here, it is lazily applying that. But then I thought if I did that, it would force it to be non-lazy, but that didn't seem to work. So I think it hasn't read all the names by tying it to here. Oh, interesting. I'm getting a different error this time. Let's try building this first. So let's new lines equal, and then this stuff. Oops. New lines. I don't think that's going to be enough. I can try it, because there's no reason my new lines can't also be lazy. Okay, I'm really confused now. Why has it got a non-exhaustive pattern here? What have I done? That's the way it was. Oh, have I destroyed people too? Is that what's happened? I have. Okay. Right, so it's not exhausted because I don't have anything in my file. So that is not matching. Okay. So that's interesting. So it got as far as reopening it in write mode, and then it couldn't write the contents out. Right, so let's go to people, grab that, go to people 2 and just paste it in for a second. Come back to here. So now that's what I was trying to do, force it to be non-lazy. See if that works. So again, I don't think this non-laziness thing helps, but I can try it. Yeah, I get the same error, and I'm guessing we've trampled over people 2 again. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing I was saying I'm going to try and do is after we close this, oh, it's delayed read and closed handle. So at this point, I can say something like let new names be this. So this is not helping. We'll get rid of that for a second. And here we'll print new names. Try running that. No, still got a problem. It's a delayed read on close handle. Has it get contents though? Oh, but I don't know when this has actually been called, because it's probably lazily calling this whenever it needs to. I take it that doesn't help, or even this, to try and force strings at that point. I don't know. Let me just put the contents back in people 2. Give it another go. Okay. It's not working either. It's really annoying. So it would work if I'm reading from one file into another, I think. And it would work if I could have the non-lazy version. I guess I could look at the non-lazy version of this and see how it works. Source. Probably not going to be that helpful though. So what's strict read? Oh, it's here. Strict read. This looks like it's quite complicated to me. So my attempt to just put an exclamation mark probably isn't the right answer. I take it that earlier versions just don't have any kind of strictness. So if we have a look at text input, in fact, there were special cases, weren't there? Yeah, there's no strict things here. To enforce as far as possible multi-reader, single-writer locking on files. There may be many handles on the same file which manage input, just one file which manages output. Okay. So how about, put that back. These are two handles on the same file. Let's not close until we've written everything. It's a bit of a long shot, but I can give it a go. So we're going to OpenFile, read all the stuff in, grab the first item off, or whatever item we need to grab, and print it out, then generate the new content, open a new file, and then print that into the new file, and then we'll try and close both handles. Which order should we close them in? Don't know if it matters. Let's find out. Resource busy, file is locked. So this idea of me being able to open multiple read and write things doesn't really hold up. Oh, we haven't trashed the file though, so that's good. So I guess that at this point couldn't do this. I'm guessing that opening it first won't help either. But we'll give it a go and see. No, that didn't help either. Okay, so what I will do, oh, it did trash the file though, that's nice. What I think I will do is give up for today. During the week, I think I'm going to look up some file handling stuff in Haskell, see if I can work this out. Yeah, and then hopefully next week we can come back with the correct answer, because this is a bit of a waste of a learning session. Yeah, so not quite the outcome I was hoping for. But we did, we got to use a Mona bind operator earlier. That was pretty exciting. But yeah, next week we'll come back. I'll work out how to write to a file that I've previously opened. So basically open, read everything out of it, and then write the file. I guess worst case is if I can't work out how to do that, I'll see if I can work out how to use a newer version of GHC, which has got a newer version of base, which will let me do the the strict reading, which should help as well. But yeah, okay, so I'll look at next week. But thanks for watching along. And yeah, next week will be better. I kind of half promise. Okay, see you later.